reason we're talking with you, I guess we should mention you have this book out. It's called Elton John at 75, and it's 75 different points in Elton's career. Uh,
Yes.
how how did you how did you choose these? You actually you touched on George Harrison. You have another book that's called "100 Things Beatles Fans Should Know and Do
Yeah.
Before They Die."
Yeah.
Are there any? Okay, so give me some Elton John things you should know and do before you die. Is this the same type of tone as that book?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I did another in that series, the 100 Things on Elvis. And then, they wanted little boxes throughout of 20 other things. So I guess it's really kind of like 120. So I guess it was used to doing list type things. So 75, that's great. That's not even 100. That's 25 fewer. Well, the thing is, you want to kind of spread it out so you don't have everything from the 1970s. You have to have stuff from later in his life and career. And some of the things just they just come to mind pretty quickly. I mean, there's obviously all kinds of highlights in the 70s you could pick, but then later in his career and life, because it has life things too, not just career. You had, well, his marriages, we've just been talking about them. Both of those are in there, and getting clean and sober, and writing his autobiography, and playing at Princess Diana's funeral. That's something that immediately comes to mind. And then his work on musicals, The Lion King. There you had to think, well, which ones to mention? Because he's actually worked on a number of musicals now. And The Lion King, of course, is most important because that was the first one and it was so phenomenally successful. And then I picked Billy Elliot because that seemed to be the second most successful, running for many years. I mean, I think they only closed it in London because of the pandemic. And it might be back now, I'm not sure. But even now he's continuing to do things. I was thinking if my deadline was 6 months from now, say, some moments I might put in would be his working with Britney Spears on a single, just out of the blue, he does something else with her. And then he just played at the White House and was given a medal for his humanitarian work, which he didn't know he was going to get. It was a surprise. So that would obviously be a highlight too. So
So Elton John at 90 will
yeah,
you
they're
get a
pretty.
whole new
Well, heck, 90, that's just 15 other things, isn't it, from 75? And we've already got two. So
yeah.
that's 13 down.
Yeah. And I mean, he's not stopping. I just got an email today that he's adding another show in Denver. He's this never ending tour. It's like a Bob Dylan tour. It's not going to end. I sense that he's enjoying playing for everyone. He loves all this adulation. I don't understand. I mean, I guess I understand why he's quitting, or not quitting, but just leaving the road. But I don't think, clearly this is not going to be the last we hear of Elton John. He's going to still be recording.
Oh yeah, and certainly performing live. He just didn't want to do the long tours. He said he wanted to be around his kids more and watching them
Yeah.
grow up, which is something parents can appreciate. But what may have happened with we had the pandemic, so he was off the road for probably 2 years or so. I can't remember when this last one started, or when the tour restarted, that is. But they're older now. And of course, when kids get to be teenagers, they kind of want to go off and do their own things more and not be with their parents so much. So maybe that's a part of it. I mean, he's had 2 more years to see them. And yeah, maybe there's just the thrill of how well these things are going. I wonder if at some stage he'll just transition into doing a residency. Because
Well,
I could see
he
him doing
has done that. Yeah, he did. He has done
yeah,
that in Vegas.
Vegas.
yeah, a couple times. And yeah, it'd be an obvious thing to do. And especially if it's at a place, a major city like Vegas, or if he did something in London, people could get there pretty easily and it would draw a lot of people. So I could see him doing something like that.